rounds in the heavyweight division, and Galen Bad Boy Brown has a big challenge as he's going to go up against the former two-time world heavyweight champion Hasim The Rock Rockman. 35-16-1 with 22 knockouts, a lot of power, but he's also been knocked out 11 times. He's boxed 246 professional rounds. He's been in the game for a long time, trained by David McNeil. He's 6 foot tall, 253. He'll turn 30 next Thursday, and he's a southpaw fighter, which could give Hasim Rockman a little bit of fits. There's no doubt that The Rock and his trainer, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, one of the great fighters and certainly one of the great trainers, feel that they can get that third title. In fact, they feel they'll get it before 2011 runs out, so sometime in the fall.
He sees an opportunity because at 38 years old, there are world champions older than him at this point, and he says, why not me? Has he talked about one of the last things that's ever going to leave a fighter is their power. Rockman has a big right hand. He likes to say, nobody has that type of power, and that's what boxing's missing, and I'm here to bring it back. He wants to win it and then get out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event. Greg Cohen Promotions presents a 10-round heavyweight bout. Fighting out of the blue corner, a record of 35-16-1, 22 by knockout from Kansas City, Missouri. He is the bad boy, Galen Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner, a record of 49-7-1 with 40 knockouts. From Baltimore, Maryland, Hasim The Rock Rockman. The referee is Randy Phillips. The judges are Reese Mullen, Gerald Deming, and Bill Clancy.
All right, Chuck Roberts, thank you very much. Randy Phillips will be the referee for this battle between The Rock, Hasim Rockman, and Galen Bad Boy Brown. As you heard, Chuck, Rockman from Baltimore, but he lives now and trains out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Again, Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, one of the greats, one of the great names in the game of boxing. He's been in his corner and has trained him. He feels like he's ready to go. Again, tonight, you hope is a step in the right direction, and maybe they get their championship title fight later on in 2011. Rockman has won 4 straight going into this fight. His last loss was against a guy who's not too shabby, Vladimir Klitschko, December 13th, 2008 in Germany. That was for the IBF, WBO, and IBO heavyweight titles. So here we go, Rockman and Galen Brown. And no doubt there's Hasim Rockman carrying probably about 20 to 25 extra lbs.
And he was training for Galen Brown, so maybe he did take him a light. But Rockman's got a stiff jab, and he's got the world-renowned big right hand, and that's what Galen Brown's got to stay away from.
Rockman knocked out Lennox Lewis. He split his 2 fights with the great world champion, Lennox Lewis. I mentioned he fought Klitschko. 2 strange results against James Toney. He's fought Corey Sanders, David Tua, John Ruiz, Evander Holyfield, Trevor Berbick. He's been with all the big names.
Rockman went for that big right hand a little bit earlier. Brown was able to slip it. I think Brown's problem is here, if he does anything on offense, he's setting himself up probably to be hit. And I don't know if he can withstand the power of Rockman.
Rockman with an 82-inch reach, 74 for Brown. Nate, Brown is 6 foot 253, and he looks miniature in there next to Rockman.
Well, he's a big man, isn't he? Obviously much bigger coming into this weight. I saw him at the weigh-in, though. They talk about the 284. He probably more like 270, had a lot of clothes on, didn't take his clothes off for the weigh-in. Big stiff jab. Big right hand to the body by Rock.
The jab knocked back Brown as he was trying to unload a right himself. Mentioned Brown has 246 pro rounds under his belt. Hasim Rockman with 286.
It's not an experience issue, Greg. It's an ability issue, I think, at this point. But Brown's game, you know, when they get in the clinches and stuff, he'll try to get a couple punches in, try to rough it up a little bit. Can't do anything from a distance, though, without taking damage.
Well, there they were in the clinch, and Randy Phillips getting between the two. There's a right by Rockman.
And Rockman's teeing him with his left hand and loading up the right. You know, just kind of putting that left up to the chin, setting up the right.
Rockman again leading with the left jab. Right now, Galen Brown doing a lot of holding. And once again, Randy Phillips will break the two. Rockman very anxious. He wants to end this thing early. Overhand right, just avoided by Galen Brown.
Brown opened up a little bit for a change, but Brown's hands are so low. You don't want to do that against Hasim Rockman.
Again, a stiff left jab by Hasim Rockman. And again, he ate a jab. Final seconds, round number one. This one is scheduled for 10. The two in a clinch. Again, Randy Phillips will break the two and will break away after the first round. Nice 10-rounder between Hasim Rockman and Galen Brown under the ABC uniform rules.
Yeah, the ABC uniform rules, Greg. No 3 knockdown rule. No standing 8 count. You cannot be saved by the bell in any round. We are scoring on the 10-point must system, and there is no contest called if a fight is stopped by a cut with less than 4 completed rounds.
Once again, Galen Brown with his guard down low, and Rockman going right at him.
But Galen trying to load up a little bit on the rock, trying to take his chances with the 2-time world champion.
Well, at 29 years of age, he may feel he has the speed against the 38-year-old Rockman, especially with Rockman a little heavier than usual. But again, you want to leave your guard down against Hasim Rockman? I certainly don't.
Not a chance, Greg. Not a chance. Not a good strategy. 52 pro fights for Galen Brown. Again, he owns his own gym in St. Louis, so he knows the game. Got hit with another left jab by Hasim Rockman. The two have combined for 62 knockouts. Galen Brown's having a little fun in there, Greg. A little smile, you know, kind of staring down Rockman. I don't know if he ever eats that right hand from Rockman, if he'll still be smiling, but he's having a little fun right now.
It was the strangest uppercut I ever saw, and I think they almost both backed into the camera. Galen Brown now leaning on Rockman. Reese Mullins, Gerald Deming, Bill Clancy, the judges for this bout. Again, it's supposed to be a stepping stone fight for Rockman to get his third heavyweight title.
Brown slipped a big right hand from Rockman right there and just shook his head at him. Nah, you didn't get me that time, big guy.
Nice right by Galen Brown. He caught Hasim Rockman. There's the jab, double jab right there by Rockman. Is he quick enough, though, after the jabs to unload with that big right?
I don't know, and Galen's staying away from it, and Galen's feeling more comfortable in this fight than I ever thought he was going to feel.
The two are tied up, and again, Randy Phillips gets between the two. And some boos cascading from the crowd here. They want to see action. Galen Brown with the right hook. Brown loads up with the left. Final seconds of round two. A more active Galen Brown here in round two as he wants the big upset over the former two-time world heavyweight champion.
I never thought I would say this, but you could lean towards either way on that round. I want to give the champ the benefit of the doubt and say 10-9 because you're the two-time heavyweight champion in the world. But you got to be more dominant against a Galen Brown, I think, if you're projecting yourself towards your, an opportunity to win your third world heavyweight title.
Yeah, you want to say that, but obviously the judges can't take that into consideration. It doesn't matter who's in the squared circle. You have to judge it from what they saw. And again, in that second round, I saw Brown as a more active fighter than Hasim Rockman. And again, I'm a little perplexed. And look at Galen Brown.
He's having fun with the Rock in there, Greg.
And I'm sure the crowd enjoys that, but I don't know if Rockman enjoys it.
Well, I don't know. The crowd enjoys it, and Rockman doesn't enjoy it, but I don't know if Galen Brown should be doing it. You know, you get too comfortable in there, and I still have to sit back and say, well, this is Hasim Rockman. He can put you to sleep at any given moment.
And when Galen Brown gets caught in the corner, he's able to get Hasim in a clinch, and then they're able to break it up and get back into the center of the square circle. Galen Brown, no doubt about it, and I'm not saying this guy is Carl Lewis, but compared to Rockman, he's faster. And if he can just avoid Rockman and the big punch, he has a chance to make this a long fight.
And Rockman's just barely missing now with those big right hands, and he's going to get him right now. He wants to get out of there. It's such a small ring. It's amazing that Galen's been able to stay away from this long. Oh, nice big body shot by Rockman. That's a thudding body shot.
Now, as you said, once Rockman gets to Brown, it could be lights out. But can he get to him? Uppercut by Galen Brown. And a combination by Bad Boy. Rockman is trying to land the overhand right. And again, Brown's able to get himself involved in a clinch and avoid the big punch. Back it up now into the corner. Rockman has scored with the left jab, and that's been about it.
Let me tell you the savviness of Galen Brown. He knows what Rockman has is that big right hand. You have never seen Galen Brown move to his left. It's circled to his right the whole night. Stay away from that right hand.
Rockman, even at 38, it's an absolute sledgehammer. There's a couple of quick little uppercuts by Brown to no effect on Rockman, but during the clinch.
That's not a good place for Brown to be.
Little uppercut there by Rockman. Left hand uppercut. And again, Brown leaning on Rockman. Final seconds of round number 3. Rockman a little bit frustrated, I would think so. Galen Brown is going to move this sucker into the 4th round. Galen Brown has been able to keep him at bay by dancing around a little bit. Now, dancing's probably not the best word to describe what Galen Brown's doing, but he's lumbering around enough to avoid Rockman.
There's one right hand from Rockman, not the full extension, but it was one.
Well, there's no doubt about it. 3 rounds of showboating a little bit has gotten Hasim Rockman upset.
Well, and Hasim knows image is everything as well, and he's got to get this KO on his record. He can't go deep with a guy like Galen Brown.
40 knockouts of his 49 wins.
Now Hasim's getting very frustrated. You hear him talking to Brown. He wants to let his hands go.
Overhand right there by Rockman. And Galen Brown will turn sideways to avoid. There's not much Rockman could do right there when Galen Brown turns sideways on him.
Well, then every once in a while, Brown shows some offense as well. I mean, it's hard to say Brown is just trying to tie up and be defensive, because every once in a while he pot shots.
But right here, he's just leaning on Rockman. And again, he's toying with him a bit. Galen Brown will turn 30 next Thursday. What a present it would be to upset Hasim Rockman. Again, even at his age. And Randy Phillips, a tough time getting in between these two guys who combined weigh over 500 pounds.
And Randy's a strong and tough referee for his small stature, but how do you get in between those two guys?
You get sandwiched. That's what happens. Rockman now stalking Brown. Brown trying again to hold. The only punch so far that's been effective for Rockman's been the left jab. He's trying to uncork that right, which is a sledgehammer. There's the left again.
But once again, Galen Brown's moving to his right, never in range of that right hand.
scheduled for 10. This is round 4.
It's frustrating, Greg, but when it happens, we keep on saying it could be one punch.
Once again, Rockman that time loaded up the right, but he was slow. Brown was able to slip it. And there's a right by Brown, but it seemed to be thrown in the back of Rockman's neck, which is certainly not a legal punch, and Randy warned him.
He warned him, but then he turned to Rock and said sideways.
Final moments of round 4. We're going to round 5. Welcome back to the DCC. This one's going to a 5th round. It's scheduled for 10. Hasim the Rock Rockman. Frustration against Galen Bad Boy Brown. And what's interesting, in the Brown corner, Terry Lance. Make sure I have this right. David McNeil originally was set to train, but it's Terry Lance who was in Dusty Harrison's corner earlier tonight, the 17-year-old who made his debut, and a successful debut it was. Terry, a former fighter of his own, helping out Bad Boy Galen Brown.
And you have to believe there's a history with Brown and Lance there, obviously, that they feel comfortable working together. Nice jab by Rockman, but Brown's still leading him forward here.
There's a right by Rockman. He had a glancing right just moments ago, but Galen Brown still dancing.
It's going to find a home, I have to believe, eventually. I mean, I don't know how long you can slip it.
Well, with each passing round, more frustration for Rockman. Again, you can't say enough about his resume, his credentials. Knocking out Lennox Lewis. 2 fights with Lewis. Lost a tough one to Klitschko, but has fought some of the greats and has beaten most of them. But he is 38. He wants another shot at a world heavyweight title. He can't avoid a slip-up against a journeyman who's putting up a good fight, taking nothing away from Galen Brown, but you can't afford a slip-up here. And Brown, speaking of slip-ups, just falls, and he's back on his feet.
He's putting up a good fight in the terms of his strategy to survive against Rockman as a proper strategy. Is he doing anything to win the fight? I don't think so. But at times he's thrown punches, but not enough nearly to win this fight against Rockman. But, you know, you never thought you would have been at this point in this fight.
And Brown right now with a headlock on Rockman. There's a left by Galen Brown.
Frustrated Hasim.
Again, the guard is down for Brown. Tries the uppercut there. Rockman with a left. Now a right to the body, right in front of us. Hasim trying to pick up the action here. Again, Brown just leaning on him. And Randy Phillips once again. Randy Phillips perhaps the busiest of the 3.
Oh, I think definitely so.
Nice flurry there by Rockman. Maybe the best of the fight so far.
And there goes him sneaking out to his right again, away from that right hand for Galen Brown.
And once again, Brown getting out there with the big mitts and holding Rockman. It's amazing how Brown's just letting those arms just hang.
He feels safe on the inside because there's no short punches from Rockman. So when he's in there, he feels very safe.
Final moments, round number 5. And this one is going to at least the 6th round. Interesting, David McNeil is in Rockman's corner. So here we go, round number 6. Good left by Rockman, maybe trying to show something to Brown during the break between the 5th and 6th rounds by standing up, showing, hey, I'm not tired, I'm ready to go.
And a different Rockman starts off this round, multiple punches, trying to set up the right hand versus winging it. Coming in with some body work, trying to get Brown to be stationary a little bit. Maybe something Eddie Mustafa Muhammad came up with between rounds there, but go down on him a little bit, champ. Go down on him, get his body, stop him from moving.
There it is.
Right hand.
That was the right. We've been waiting all fight long. Galen Brown with a wink, though. And Eddie Mustafa Muhammad screaming to his fighter, Hasim Rahman. Go with the left jab.
He wants the jab. He's saying, Rock, the jab is what set up that right hand. Go back to the jab and set up your right hand.
There's
There it is.
another big right. Here's the Rahman we've been waiting for. Combination by Hasim. Brown hanging on the ropes. Brown goes down again. And he's feeling that one, Nate Yoder, no doubt about it.
It was an onslaught by the champion. Everything's heavy at that point. Galen Brown's going to try to make a go of it here. As you know, with the ABC rules, no 3 knockdown rule in effect. So it's as long as Galen Brown can keep on coming. He tried to wing a left out of there.
One more time goes Brown to his knee. Fans booing, but you got to realize when Hasim Rahman hits you, it's going to take most mortal men down. Nice body shot by Galen Brown. But Rahman now smells it. And down again. And it's over. Hasim Rahman frustrated, but finally we saw the man who has won 2 world championships and wants to win a 3rd. So, frustration early. Galen Brown having some fun. It was his time to shine against a former world champion, but you saw the frustration with each passing round, and finally Rahman did his thing in the 6th round.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this main event heavyweight bout, in round number 6, 145, in round number 6, the winner by TKO, Hasim "The Rock" Rahman.
So Hasim Rahman wins his 50th career fight. He gets 7 defeats and 2 draws. He gets the TKO win over Galen "Bad Boy" Brown. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap things up from the DeSoto Civic Center right after this.